Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula, America's Medicare Associates and Retirement Tax Partners with Nolan Baker. 419-794-3030 is the phone number, how you reach out. You can go to the website as well. That's arhq.com. Previously, we were talking about the importance of tax preparation versus tax planning. And when it comes to taxes, I think a lot of people out there have heard, or we've spoken about it before here on the show, the three buckets as far as taxable, tax deferred, and tax free. We're going to talk about some different buckets right now. In a recent blog post, finance coach Tony Robbins talked about allocating your retirement money into, here we go, three buckets: a security bucket, a risk growth bucket, and a dream bucket. How similar is what Tony is advocating for here to what you guys at America's Retirement Headquarters do? And would you define, how would you define what goes into each of those buckets?
Well, our process that we have here is called the independent income system. And we've got a great video. If you just go on Google and you type in the independent income system, that video comes up where we kind of walk you through the different threats and opportunities that we see that are facing people that are, close to or in retirement time. But conceptually, I agree with Tony's concept of having buckets of money that are designed for different purposes. So a lot of times people will have all of their money maybe in their 401k or all of their investment accounts, and then they'll just start, proactively selling some off each month and taking withdrawals to fund their retirement years. And having a pile of money and just picking at it is not necessarily, I think, a retirement strategy. So when you look at the different buckets, he talked about having a bucket of money that was designed as the security bucket. I would agree with this. I think that's a good idea, that you want to have money set aside, for some type of security. For those folks that are younger, you're still working, retirement is, more than 5 years out. In that bucket, you really want to have is a backup plan in the event that maybe you lose your job and you have, 6 to 12 months worth of income set aside in that security bucket to give you peace of mind. But as you get closer to retirement time, or as you move into retirement time, I believe that you want to do one of two things. One is, inside of that security bucket, you want to have money set aside in non-market risk investments that would provide 5 years worth of your income needs. That way, if and when the stock market has a major crash and a big sell-off, maybe like it did in, say 2008 or the 2000 market environment, you're not in a situation where you're forced to sell off your stock market accounts to cover your income needs. The second thing that you could do is, in that security bucket, is you could position a portion of money to make sure that you cover whatever your income needs are. As an example, I helped somebody who came into the office recently, and she had determined that for her minimum monthly income needs that she needed about $3,000 a month to cover utilities, basic living expenses. She's getting about $2,100 from Social Security, leaving her a gap of about $900 a month. We're able to then go out and look at financial products and say what type of products that are not stock market risk products, would provide $900 a month of income. That way she had that reliable income, because doing that can kind of give you that security that you need in retirement time. Tony talked about having a bucket of money that's designed for risk and growth. I would also agree with that. You want to have a money that is designed for risk and growth. Usually in that risk and growth part of the portfolio, that's where we're typically helping people with picking out stocks, and stocks still for the long term, have great growth potential. In our scenario, if somebody has money in the security blanket, so the person that I talked about who needed $3,000 a month, if she has money set aside inside of there, in that risk growth bucket of money, that can be her money that she can use for the fun stuff. So when you have, years like 2024 or 2023, when the stock market did really well, those years you're exceeding what your goals are, you can take money out, do that Viking River cruise, maybe, replace a vehicle, get the basement done the way that you wanted to do, using those risk growth assets. He talked about a dream bucket. To me, I would really kind of put the dream bucket inside of that risk growth. So, again, in those years that you're achieving better than expected results, if your plan was to do that Viking River cruise, or your plan was to take all of your family down to Disneyland, using the growth that you have out of there, and maybe spending profits, not your principal, could be a way that you could accomplish some of those dreams. I think it's important to have your dreams, right? Have your bucket list of your dreams.
Right.
But instead of a dream bucket, what I would recommend is somebody have a bucket of money that's designed for a pay raise. And, we're going to talk a little bit about it later on in the show, but we've talked about it before, and the fact that, Social Security is in big trouble. And, what happens if what they say comes true? And I know it's the government, right? So we don't always have to believe what they say. But, what they say now is that in less than 10 years, your Social Security benefits could get cut. I don't know if they're going to directly cut benefits or not, but what if tax rates go up in the future? What if healthcare costs goes up? You need to have a bucket of money that says, at some point in the future, when you get a cut or reduction of benefits, maybe you lose a loved one and you have less Social Security income from that, or things get more expensive. That third bucket I think that you need to have is that pay raise bucket. So if you don't know what buckets that you have, when you come in and see us, if you have more than $250,000 saved up for retirement time, we can get you a complimentary retirement team action plan. We'll walk you through the threats and opportunities, and we'll help you develop your own independent income system. Happy to put that together for you and show you how to put, those three bucket theories into use in your individual situation.
Because income for life is important, but income for lifestyle is also, I think, very important because, as we know, I think we're all aware, things are costing more than they used to a couple of years ago. And so you want to make sure you have that growth potential in there. You also want to make sure that the entirety of it isn't overextended, where a market downturn, if and when those happen, do compromise the quality of your retirement. Finding that right blend, it's going to depend on person to person. So if you're online and you're looking at the independent income system video, open up another tab, go over to arhq.com, set up a time to speak with Nolan and the team at America's Retirement Headquarters. Again, arhq.com, start developing that retirement team action plan. Or if you prefer, you can also give a call, 419-794-3030.